that your walls are primered and ready to go, the next step's gonna be to get your Cove kits mixed up and ready to go. Our Cove kits are all pre-thickened, pre-measured, ready to go. There's no use of messing around with measuring out different products, adding in fumed silica, breathing that in all the time. It's not good for you. So these ones have already come pre-thickened, ready to go. There's our part A right there. All we gotta do is open up the part B, pour everything from the part A directly into the part B. We're gonna give this a mix for about 30 seconds of just the liquids together to make sure that all the products get a chance to cross-link and start moving with each other. And then we'll start adding in our media. For this job, we're gonna be using some colored quartz. This is the attachment we recommend using for mixing up the Cove molding material. We'll go to add in the quartz. I do want to make sure I just put about half of it in at first so I don't make it too difficult to mix up. Everybody's recipe is going to be a little different. We already have the liquids pre-measured out, but for however much quartz or sand or anything you want to add into it is going to be dependent on the recipe you like to use. We like to go between 10 and 12 quarts of media in there, whether it be the just regular sand or colored quartz. So definitely it's up to your preference if you want a wetter or drier mix. Always test it, ball it up, see how you like the mixture. It's a little wet for my liking. I'm gonna add a little bit more. And I'll leave a little bit in the bottom of this bucket. For when we get down, as we're scooping the material out, if it's a little more wet on the bottom, we can add some more in there to thicken it up a little bit. I like to go all the way down and pull it back up so it tries to get the wet stuff from the bottom, move back up to the top, so it's getting a nice even mix going on. Once we have it all mixed up, we're gonna start shoveling it out so we can get it up on the walls. Like any kind of resin, you wanna make sure you get it out of the bucket. It's gonna have a shorter pot life when it's all inside the bucket together. So what we do is we take our marginal trowel and we go through and we just drop it around the perimeter to get it all out of the bucket, because you'll have a longer pot life with it out this way. Every media you use is gonna be a little different, whether it's just regular sand, like a 30 mesh, or if you use a quartz, it's a little bit smaller of a mesh. So I wanna test this and hang it to see if it's too heavy and too wet, and we might have to add some more in, but let's go ahead and try that. This is our snub trowel. This makes it easy for hanging, easy for smoothing it out at first before you put your Cove trowel on top of it. So I'm gonna just go through and hang some of this to see how it reacts. I think it's a little too wet because you can see it start sagging a little bit as you're hanging it. So we may need to go a little bit drier on the mix. Here's a quick tip to make your life a little easier if you're hanging Cove. Make sure your tool is wet. While you're hanging it, while you're troweling it, every aspect of it, the wetter your trowel is, the less likely it is to stick to your trowel, to pull off and fall. So check this out. That's what I'm talking about. I like to go upright, pull it tight, press it in hard. Tighten to this corner. See, if your tool's not wet enough, it'll start pulling it off the wall. All right, here's that 45 I was talking about. Make sure your tool's nice and wet so no product sticks to it. Tap it into the corner, pull it. I like to get the walls nice and straight and flush and filled in. Then I go back and I leave a little bit right here on the radius. So when I pull my trowel over it, I get that perfect 3/4 inch transition down to the floor. So like I said, you want to get your tool nice and wet. Tuck this end right into the corner. Pull it tight. Tuck this end into the other corner. Pull it tight, and it creates this nice tight 45 gap there. Take your other tool here and smooth it out. So now you've got a little bevel that comes down. So any water that makes its way into the corner can now run down and out, and you have a tight seam in the corner, and it's consistent every single time. Doesn't matter if one guy's doing Cove one day, another guy's doing Cove the other day, every single time it will look the exact same. Check out the 45. Put this one right there, pull it tight so you get your radius on this side, switch it over. With cleaning across the bottom here, you get a little bit of the chunky, the nice rounded edge on this. You can go through and just clean up any excess that you don't want there without putting a harsh line into your Cove as well. It really helps out with like the next day, having to grind down or sand down any chunky edges left from the Cove.